Okay, thank you very much for this very informal introduction and informal session. But on the outset, let me thank Mr. Rajesh Kannan for his invitation for this weekly e-seminar on graphs and matrices. So I know that several stalwarts and eminent personalities have already delivered lectures in this year-long weekly seminar series. And I comprehend all those people who have delivered lectures in this series. And comprehending this, let me share some information on a very particular topic on spectral graph theory with you. So I duly put on my gratitude and respect towards Dr. R. Balakrishnan, stalwarts like Pratima Panigrahi, Sugandha Padi, Susmita Barik, Kamal Lochan Patra, Faisal Attic, Suresh Erumalai, and many more who are significantly contributing into the field of spectral graph theory. As I pre-assume that almost all of you have very strong background in graph theory, and graph theory is evolved as a part of mathematics in the 19th century. Sorry, in the 18th century, due to works of the famous Leonhard Euler, and it took over 1.5 century to become to become spectral graph theory a part of mathematics. And as all of you know, spectral graph theory is evolved from the works of E. Huckel on the energy of some chemical molecules, conjugated hydrocarbons, where he observed that a chemical molecule can be represented by means of a matrix, where the adjacency relation is based upon the carbon hydrogen adjacency or carbon carbon adjacency. And he proved that the energy of that conjugated hydrocarbon plays a linear have a linear relation with some of the positive eigenvalues of the corresponding matrix. And this was the first instant where spectrum of a graph, a spectrum of something, he represented that those conjugated molecules by means of a graph, and he called it as a skeleton graph. And this is the place where the first instant where when the spectrum of a graph comes into picture. And interestingly, it took more than 16 years.
Professor Indra, sorry to interrupt. Are you sharing your screen? I think you are unable to see your screen.
No. I am not sharing. I am just giving some very few introduction.
Okay. Thank you.
See, it took 16 years for a mathematics paper in spectra of graph to be appeared. And I think the screen is visible now.
Yes, it is visible now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
See, this was the first paper in 1931. Huckel presented spectrum of a graph in terms of the spectrum of the conjugated hydrocarbon. And in 1957 only, a mathematical paper dealing with the spectrum of graph appeared through the works of Sinkowitz and Pollax. And there, in that paper, they discussed the mathematical properties of spectrum of graphs. And even characterization of a graph by spectrum is also raised in that paper. And now it is 2020 and almost 63 years have been passed. And during these 63 years, more than 15,000 research articles dealing with one aspect or other of the spectrum of graphs have been appeared. in various platforms, various international journals, various conferences and seminars. See, if the significance of a subject can be counted in terms of the number of publications, spectra of graph and graph spectral theory of graphs is most significant. If we can count the significance, if we can quantify the significance in terms of number of publications. So this is why the study of spectrum of graphs is an ample scope of research for researchers. Whatever we have explored so far is just the tip of the iceberg, and major portion is still to be discovered. And in the last few years, several applications of spectrum of graphs extending from computer science to mathematical biology have been explored, and many more have to be explored in coming years. The concept of energy Huckel put forward in 1931 was extended to all graphs by Guttman in 1970s. He defined the energy of a graph as the sum of the absolute values of the eigenvalues. And in tune with this, the energy of several other graph matrices associated with the graphs have also been defined. And in 2008, we, with Guttman and Vijay Kumar, we defined the distance energy of graphs as a sum of the absolute values of the distance eigenvalues of a graph. And in the next year, Consoni and Tonishimi, while studying the QSPR, quantitative structure property relationship, proved that the distance energy can be used to compute the motor octane number of octane isomers, and it can be used to quantify and qualify the water solubility of polychlorobiphenyls. And Pollack, I have already studied these distance eigenvalues of a tree in 1980s, and he used the distance eigenvalue of a tree to quantify some electric network theory. So we expect that the study of distance energy and the construction of graphs with equal energy also may have some applications in future. And that is why we select this topic, and I would like to share some information on distance equi-energy graphs with you. So we begin with very conventional definition. Let G be a connected graph. We assume throughout the session, we assume that G is a connected graph with the vertices V1, V2, etc., Vp, and size Q, the number of edges. And the distance matrix of a graph G is an n by n matrix Dij, where Dij is the distance between Va and Vj in G. And the eigenvalues of this D, the distance metric, are the eigenvalues, D eigenvalues of G, and forms its D spectrum of. Two graphs G and H with the spectrum, identical spectrum, are said to be co-spectral. So this was also an year-long problem. Whether in the beginning it was believed that graphs, non-isomorphic graphs, will have non-identical spectrum. So this was the case when with the adjacency matrix, also assumed in case of distance spectrum. But later in 1957, Kollatz and Sinkowitz proved that it is not true, that there are non-isomorphic graphs with the identical spectrum. And the distance energy of a graph is defined as the sum of the absolute values of its distance eigenvalues, and two graphs with equal D energy are said to be D equinergetic. In fact, isomorphic graphs will have same d energy and they are d equenergetic. So when we say d equenergetic graphs or equenergetic graphs, we mean non-identical, non-isomorphic graphs. And in this talk, I would like to give you different classes of graphs, which give rise equenergetic pair or distance equenergetic graphs from various graph operations. One of the simple graph operation is the join of two graphs. And we have this result that if GI are Ri regular graphs with Ni vertices and with these as eigenvalues, then the distance spectrum of the join G1 join G2 consists of these eigenvalues lambda ij minus 2 for I is equal to 1, 2 and j is equal to 2, 3, etc. Ni, and two more eigenvalues of this form. So this is easy from the observation. The computation of the distance eigenvalues of G1 join G2 is easy from the observation that the distance matrix of this graph can be represented by means of this, because in say G1 join G2, every vertex of G1 is adjacent with every vertex of G2. So in G1 join G2, either two vertices of G1 are adjacent. If they are not adjacent, then the distance between them is 2. See, if U and V are not adjacent, then the distance between U and V is 2, because U and V are adjacent with the vertex W of G2. So in G1 join G2, the distance in G1 is 1 or 2. So that the vertices in G1 forms A plus 2 A bar in the distance matrix of G. The vertices of G1 induces A plus 2 A conjugate. If they are adjacent, the distance is 1. If they are not adjacent, then they will be adjacent in G complement. There the distance is 2. So A plus 2 A complement, and that is A plus 2 J minus I minus A, where J is the all one matrix. So that this is 2 into J minus A minus A. So this part is from this observation. And Jn1 by n2, because every vertex of G1 is adjacent to every vertex of G2, and hence at a distance 1 transpose, and the vertices of G2 will form this block 2j minus I minus a G2 in the distance matrix of G. And we know that Rn has an orthonormal basis consisting of eigenvectors of adjacency eigenvectors of G1, and G1 is given to be R regular or R1 regular if lambda is any other eigenvalue of G1 with an eigenvector capital X. Then we can see that capital X0 is an eigenvector of this distance matrix. So considering this, we will get 2j minus I minus ag1 x0, and any other eigenvector capital X is orthogonal to the R1 vector, because since R1 is regular, R1 is the regularity of G1, the R1 vector is an eigenvector of G1 with the eigenvalue R1, and G1 and Rn has an orthogonal basis consisting of eigenvectors. So any other eigenvector will be orthogonal to the R1 vector 1. So this is X will be orthogonal to Jn2 by n1, and this eigenvector, this collection of eigenvectors gives rise to minus lambda minus 2 as an eigenvalue. Similarly, if y is an eigenvector corresponding to an eigenvalue lambda of ag2 different from the regularity, then 0y will be an eigenvector. So that gives rise to minus, okay, if you take, don't confuse with this lambda, if mu is an eigenvalue of ag2 different from regularity, then minus mu minus 2 is an eigenvalue of this matrix. So we have counted all these except, so we have counted n1 minus 1 plus n2 minus 1 eigenvalues with the corresponding eigenvectors, and the other two By the very construction of these two eigenvectors, we can see that they are orthogonal to alpha j n by 1, j n1 by 1 and beta j n2 by 1. So using this as an eigenvector, the other two eigenvalues can be obtained as given in the theorem. See, I am just describing only the method of finding eigenvectors and eigenvalues in this case only. And the similar approach can be extended to any other matrices which is in a nice block form. So so we get these as the eigenvalues, and the other two eigenvalues are obtained from manipulating that eigenvector I have just shown, alpha j n by 1 and beta j n by 1. We get a quadratic, and when we solve that, we get two different eigenvalues. Then we can see that Kmn, the complete bipartite graph Kmn, is the join of m isolated vertices with n isolated vertices. And using this theorem, the distance spectrum of the join of two graphs, we can obtain the distance spectrum of Kmn. And we can see that for m and n greater than or equal to 2, the distance energy of Kmn is 4 into m plus n minus 2. So that depends upon m plus n. So for constant m plus n, this family, this Kmn gives rise to a family of equi-energetic graphs, and this is just one example. K2n minus 2, K3n minus 3. See here the constant m plus n is n. K3n minus 3, etc. So this is a family of distance equi-energetic graphs for n greater than or equal to 4. And another observation, if n is any given positive integer greater than or equal to 6, and let p1, p2 and q1, q2 be two partitions of this n into parts of each of size at least 2. Then k p1, p2 and k q1, q2 are d equi-energetic. And we can see that, say for n equal to 6, 2 plus 4 is one partition of 6 into two parts, each of size at least 2. And 3 plus 3 is another partition. Then K24 and K33 are distance equi-energetic. So this is an example, D equi-energetic complete bipartite graphs on 10 vertices. Because here 2, 8, 3, 7, 4, 6, 5, 5 are all partitions of 10. And by our result, this all these K P1, P2, K Q1, Q2 forms a family of distance equi-energetic graphs from the complete bipartite graph family. Another family, again from the join of graph, other than the complete bipartite graph, the join of Km by 2 m by 2 and Kn by 2 n by 2. So we have from the join the distance spectrum and the sum of the absolute values of the distance eigenvalues for m and n greater than or equal to 4. The distance energy of this graph is 4 into m plus n minus 4. Here also, by keeping m plus n as constant, we can have family of distance equi-energetic graphs. K22 join Kn minus 4 by 2 n minus 4 by 2. K33 join Kn minus 6 by 2 n minus 6 by 2 for n a multiple of 4 greater than or equal to 12. We can have this as an equi-energetic family. Not only see, this means we can not only give a pair of d equi-energetic graphs, but a plenty of d equi-energetic graphs using this join operation. Actually, this is a multipartite graph. Km by 2 m by 2 join Kn by 2 n by 2 is a multipartition that can be viewed as a multipartite graph also. The multipartition graph with the vertex partition m by 2, m by 2, n by 2, n by 2 in succession. So these are complete multipartite d equi-energetic graphs on 12 vertices. Again, another family of D energetic graphs from the join is the cycle join isolated vortices. Cycle join, the join of cycle with one isolated vertex is a wheel, and this can be then this can be viewed as a generalized wheel. CM join Kn, cycle CM join Kn complement. The energy is 4 into m plus n minus 3. So again, keeping m plus n as constant, we can have this as a family of DEQ energetic graphs for the join. And these are some examples. Another pair of DQ energetic graphs again from join is a cycle join the complete bipartite graph K n by 2 n by 2. Here also the energy is 4 into m plus n minus 4 for m and n greater than or equal to 4. And for n is equal to 2t plus 1 greater than or equal to 9, we have this C3 join kt minus 1 t minus 1 etc. as a family of DEQ energetic graphs. And for n equal to 2t greater than or equal to 10, we have this as a family of DEQ energetic graphs. So this is a family of DEQ energetic graphs on 2t plus 1 vertices, and this is a family of DEQ energetic graphs on 2t vertices for t 2t greater than or equal to 10. And this family continues. CM join CN, cycle join with another cycle CN. The energy is 4 into m plus n minus 4, and this is a family of DEQ energetic graphs from the join of cycles for n greater than or equal to 8 and for k is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. Floor function n by 2. Using this, we can prove that for every p congruent to 0 mod p, so for every p congruent to 0 mod 6 greater than or equal to 18, that means for every 6 t vertices with t greater than or equal to 18, there exists a pair of equi-d-energetic regular graphs. So what we have already constructed are non-regular graphs. We can keep regularity also in the family of DEQ energetic graphs, so that we can have for every p congruent to 0 mod 6 greater than or equal to 18, there exists pair of equi-d-energetic regular graphs. So the proof is simple. For p is equal to 60, let G1 and G2 be the two non-cospectral cubic graphs on 2t vertices, the conventional non-cospectral cubic graphs on 2t vertices. Then there are line graphs LG1 and LG2. So this is also elementary from adjacency spectrum of LG1 and LG2. LG1 and LG2 are 4 regular and on 3t vertices. And we can see that from the join of LG1 and LG1, the only positive d eigenvalue of LG1 join LG1 are 9t minus 6 and 3t minus 6. Similarly for LG2 join LG2. So their energy is 24 into t minus 1. And also both are on 60 vertices. And LG1 join LG1, they are regular DEQ energetic on 60 vertices. But there are gaps. So researchers, you may please note that there are gaps. This is only for 60 vertices. The first such graph are on 18 vertices. Then we have such pair on only on 24 vertices. And what can be the case for 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23, and for others also? That is still an open problem, whether we can construct the regular graphs on these vertices which are equi-energetic. And these are equi-d-energetic graphs on 18 vertices with energy 48, constructed from the basic cubic graphs on 6 vertices. So similarly, we can show that I'm not going to detail into the proof of this. Similarly, we can show that for every p congruent to 1 mod 3 greater than or equal to 10, there exists a pair of equi-d-energetic graphs. Construction is somewhat similar. There we use LG1 and LG1 and also they are joined with single vertices. Another operation is the join over union. So suppose G1 and G2 are two graphs, then you take the union of G1 and G2 and make join with another graph G0. So if G0, G1, G2 are three graphs, then the spectrum, the distance spectrum of the join of G0 over the union of G1 and G2 consists of these eigenvalues and the three more eigenvalues which are the roots of this cubic equation. And we can see that if G is any regular graph with least eigenvalue -2, why we take least eigenvalue -2 is if the least eigenvalue -2 is if, then this term will be negative. So the only positive contribution are from the roots of this cubic equation, and we can find that in some particular cases, and if let G be any regular graph with least eigenvalue at least -2, then for a fixed n, see there are several graphs with least eigenvalue -2. All line graphs of regular graphs are having least eigenvalue -2. The cocktail party graph has least eigenvalue -2, and so on. And for a fixed n, let script Pn be the set of all integer partitions of n into parts, each of size at least 3. And for P is equal to P1, P2, etc., Pk, so for one partition of n into parts with size at least 3, let Cp be the union of cycles with vertices P1, P2, P3, etc., Pk. Then we can see that the graphs K1 join Cp union G, whatever this G may be, G is a regular graph with least eigenvalue -2. Then these graphs K1 join Cp union G forms a set of D equinergetic graphs. And this is a pair of D equinergetic graphs on 9 vertices for n equal to 6. For n equal to 6, 6 itself is a partition of 6. And this is the second graph. This is the second graph G. This is K1 join K2 union Cp. Cp is C6. And here Cp 3 plus 3 is the partition of 6, and Cp is C3 union C3. And this is the join of K1 over the union of K2, and this is Cp. And these two are equi-energetic with respect to the distance matrix. Another operation is the joint union of constituent graphs. Let G be a graph on n vertices V1, V2, etc. Vn. Corresponding to each vertex Vi, introduce a graph Gi and make every vertex of Gi adjacent to every vertex of Gj whenever in the basic graph G, Vi and Vj are adjacent. Otherwise, no. And this is also referred by some authors as the chain on G. So given G, each vertex of G is replaced by constituent graphs G1, G2, etc. Gn. And whenever Vi and Vj are adjacent, the corresponding graphs Ga and G, every vertex of Ga is made adjacent with every vertex of Gj. Or if Vi and Vj are adjacent, then make the join of Ga and Gj. And the resultant graph is denoted by G, G1, G2, etc. Gn, and is known as the joined union. And the distance matrix, the distance spectrum of the joined union of G1, G over G1, G2, etc. Gn consists of these eigenvalues minus lambda minus 2 and the eigenvalues of this auxiliary matrix. So if we keep this R1, R2, R3, etc., M1, M2, M3, etc., Mn are the vertices, number of vertices of G1, G2, etc., Gn, and also keep and dg vi vj is the distance between vi and vj in the parent graph. So if we use g1 g2 etc gn such that g1 g2 etc gn and g1 dash g2 dash etc gn dash are having the same mis and ris, then the contribution from this is same for all such joined unions. So using this idea, we can have long equidistance equienergetic graphs. Long equidistance energetic graphs where then G1, G2, G3, etc. is replaced by C6, and one C6 is replaced by C3 union C3. Regularity is 2, that is kept, and number of vertices is 6, that is kept. And we can have a family like this. And this joint union is taken over the basic graph Pn. And if we can replace this Pn by any graph on n vertices, till this result hold. So all those classes of graphs are D equienergetic among that family. And these are the examples. D equienergetic graphs P3 of C6, C6, C6. You see here, this is C6, C6, and C6. This is C6, C6, C3 union C3, and this is C6, C3 union C3, C3 union C3, and we can have as well C3 union C3, C3 union C3, C3 union C3. In the next discussion, we call these graphs in this order as F1, F2, F3, F4. F1, the first graph is F1, F2, F3, and F4. And in 2009, Ramane et al. Proved that if G is any R-regular graph on n vertices of diameter less than or equal to 2, in which none of these F1, F2, F3, F4 is an induced subgraph, then none of these graphs can be an induced subgraph of LG, and diameter of LG then less than or equal to 2, and the distance energy of LG is equal to 2nr minus 4r. See, why this diameter less than or equal to 2 is interesting is that as I mentioned in the beginning, if a graph G which is R regular is of diameter 2, then its distance matrix can be written as A plus 2A complement, because either the two vertices are adjacent so that their distance is 1. If they are not adjacent, then in G complement they will be adjacent. If they are not adjacent, then their distance is 2, because the diameter of G is 2. So the distance matrix of G can be written as A plus 2A bar, and on simplification this is 2 into J minus I minus A. And we know that since G is R regular, by Hoffman polynomial theorem, this J can be replaced by a polynomial in A. So that this can be written as 2P of A minus 2I minus A. See, which vanishes at all eigenvalues other than R. And at R, this polynomial gives the value n, the number of vertices. So the eigenvalues of the distance eigenvalues of G, if G is of diameter 2 and R regular, are 2 into n minus 1 minus R. And for all other eigenvalues Pa equal to 0, we have the result that if lambda is an eigenvalue of capital A S matrix, then for any polynomial Px, P lambda is an eigenvalue of P of A. So the eigenvalues of Pa are here zeros, and the other eigenvalues of the distance matrix are given by minus lambda minus 2. So that the computation of distance energy in some particular cases is feasible if diameter is kept less than or equal to 2. So to keep diameter of G less than or L of G less than or equal to 2, G should not have any of the above F1, F2, F3, F4 as an induced subgraph. Then we have this observation, this result. So what this implies is that G1 and G2, see, this can be iterated. So the interesting fact is, if G1 has none of these graphs F1, F2, F3, F4 as an induced subgraph, then LG cannot have these graphs as an induced subgraph, and any iterated line graph of G can have all these as an induced subgraphs, so that the diameter of all iterated line graphs will be less than or equal to 2. And we have this observation. If G1 and G2 are any two non-cospectral R-regular graphs in which none of these graphs has an induced subgraphs, then the iterated line graphs also have none of these graphs as an induced subgraphs, and they have equal distance energy given by this expression. So this gives rise to D equinergetic graphs from the family of line graphs. And in our work, we produced D equinergetic graphs from the complement family of line graphs. So we proved this theorem that if G is an R-regular graph on P vertices, and if R less than or equal to P minus 1 by 2, then diameter of G complement is equal to 2. That is easy to prove. If G is an R-regular graph with regularity less than or equal to P minus 1 by 2, then diameter of G complement is equal to 2. And using this, we can show that if G is an R graph on P greater than or equal to 8 vertices with R less than or equal to P minus 1 by 2, then the diameter of complements of all iterated line graphs is equal to 2 for all k greater than or equal to 1. So using this and using the adjacency eigenvalue relation between G and the line graph of G, we can prove that if G is an R greater than or equal to 4 regular graph on P greater than or equal to 8 vertices with R less than or equal to P minus 1 by 2, then the distance energy of L2G complement is equal to 3PR into R minus 2 by considering the adjacency eigenvalue relation between G and LG and using the fact that L square G is of diameter 2, L square G complement is of L square G is complement is of diameter 2, and using the relation between the eigenvalues of a graph and the distance eigenvalues of that graph, if the diameter is 2, we can have this result. Distance energy of L2G complement is equal to 3PR into R minus 2, and we can extend this to any iterated line graph. So we have this result. If G is an R regular graph on P vertices with R less than or equal to P minus 1 by 2, then the distance energy of complement of the kth iterated line graph is this, having this expression. So this gives rise to family of D equinergetic graphs from the complement G1 and G2. See, if you take two graphs G1 and G2 satisfying these basic parameters, if G1 and G2 be two non-cospectral regular graphs of same order P greater than or equal to 9 and of same degree R greater than or equal to 4 with 2R less than or equal to P minus 1 by 2, 2R less than or equal to P minus 1, R less than or equal to P minus 1 by 2. Then for any k greater than or equal to and R greater than or equal to 4, these two graphs, LKG1 complement and LKG2 complement, in fact they are non-cospectral because the basic parent graphs G1 and G2 are non-cospectral, and LKG1, the spectrum of LKG1 and LKG2, the distance spectrum of LKG1 and LKG2 are obtained directly from G1 and G2, so they are also non-cospectral and also they are complement. This complement forms a pair of non-d-cospectral d-equinergetic graphs of equal order and equal number of edges with energy this. So we have presented graphs which are equi-ds energetic from the complement of the iterated line graphs. Another operation, another conventional operation is the Cartesian product of two graphs G and H. And for the Cartesian product of G and H, if G and H are two distance regular graphs on P and N vertices with the distance regularity K and T, then the spectrum of distance spectrum of G and the distance spectrum of H is given by this. Sorry, I missed. If the distance spectrum of G and the distance spectrum of H are known, then the distance spectrum of their Cartesian product is given by this expression nk plus pt n mu p eta j. So this can be obtained in terms of the corresponding information from the parent graphs G and H. Here we see that the distance matrix of G plus H can be written as distance matrix of G tensor product Jn plus JP tensor product distance matrix of H. Then using elementary results in this tensor product, we can have the spectrum, distance spectrum of G plus H in this form. And we can see that the distance energy of G plus H, from that information of the distance eigenvalues of G plus H, the distance spectrum of G plus H can be expressed as n times distance d energy of G plus p times d energy of H. So using this, we have distance equinergetic graphs, some distance equinergetic graphs. We have d equinergetic graphs on 9 vertices. See, these two are two d equinergetic graphs on 9 vertices. And using these as graphs, G1 and G2 are two distance regular d equinergetic graphs. See, both are distance regular and distance equinergetics on 9 vertices. And then for any graph H, the family G1 plus H and G2 plus H, by varying these H, we can have distance equinergetic graphs. If H is kept regular, then G1 plus H, G2 plus H are also regular. So this gives rise to family of d equinergetic regular graphs from the Cartesian product. See, another observation, if G is a distance regular graph of order P diameter K, and Gn is Gn minus 1 plus K2 with G not equal to G n equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. So this is an iterative process of constructing Gns. Then diameter of Gn is equal to K plus n, and diameter of and distance energy of Gn is 2 raised to n into EdG plus Np, and which can be proved using elementary recurrence relation. Skipping the proof, just notice that if the graph Gn minus 1 is of diameter d, then Gn, which is Gn minus 1 plus K2, is of diameter d plus n, and when we use this distance energy of the Cartesian product of graphs, we get Ed of Gn is equal to 2 times Ed of Gn minus 1 plus 2 raised to Np. If we call this Ed of Gn as An, then this gives rise to a linear recurrence relation, non-homogeneous linear recurrence relation, which can be solved using techniques in linear homogeneous recurrence relation, non-homogeneous recurrence relation, so that Ed of Gn is equal to this. That depends upon the parent graph, the distance energy of the parent graph. So using this, we can have pair of d equinergetic graphs of any given diameter for k greater than or equal to 2. Let k be any positive integer greater than or equal to 2. Then there exists a pair of d equinergetic graphs of any diameter k. And another conventional operation is the lexicographic product of G with H. Here also we are able to find the distance spectrum of the lexicographic product. And if we keep, let G be any graph, then for a fixed n, let Pn be the set of all integer partitions of n into parts. And for the partition P is equal to P1, P2, etc. Pk, let Cp be the union of cycles with the vertices P1, P2, etc. Pk. Then we know that these cycles have the least eigenvalue minus 2. So the only contribution from the distance energy is from this, and this can be easily calculated, so that the graph G join Cp, lexicographic product of G with the Cp, where P belongs to the partition, the lexicographic product G with the Cp forms a set of d equinergetic graphs. Because this will be constant. This mu I contribution are from G, and these terms are all constants for two partitions, and for two partitions this will differ, but this is negative, fully negative. So we take the positive contribution from these numbers only, and the positive contributions will remain same for two different partitions. What differs is this minus lambda j plus 2, but however it changed, all these will be negative. So we will not take these negative contributions, we take positive contributions and take the double of that as the distance energy, sum of the absolute values of eigenvalues is 2 times the number of the sum of positive eigenvalues. So we use that idea. Okay. So this also gives rise to a family of DEQ energetic graphs from the lexicographic product. Another operation is the extended double cover operation. Extended double cover of graphs, an operation given by N. Allen. And the adjacency spectrum was determined by C. Chen in 1980s. And here we consider a special case. GB an R-regular graph of diameter 2 on p vertices with ordinary spectrum R lambda 2 etc. lambda p. Then the D spectrum of the extended double cover graph of G consists of these numbers. And using this idea, this extended double cover graphs will be always bipartite. So using this information, we can construct a regular DEQ energetic non-Gauss spectral bipartite graphs on 24 T vertices for each T greater than or equal to 3. Here also you notice that there are gaps. The first construction is on 72 vertices, and then with a gap of 24 we have another construction. And the problem is still open. Can we have regular non-Gauss spectral DEQ energetic graphs on these missing vertices? I skip the proof. I just give the information. See, another question, another query is whether we can have distance EQ energetic. See, we have so far constructed several EQ energetic graphs from several graph operations: join, Cartesian product, lexicographic product, and so on, and extended double cover graph operation. Now, we ask these questions to other certain class operations. We have EQ energetic graphs from the line graph operation. So we ask this question. Let GB. See, can we have EQ energetic graphs from the self-complementary family? Can we have DEQ energetic self-complementary graphs? See, a well-known construction for self-complementary graphs by Alexander Ferrugia is this. This is nothing other than the joint union over P4 of G complement G. And we can see that if G is a connected k-regular graph on n vertices with so and so, with the adjacency spectrum this, then the distance spectrum of the self-complementary graph H. See, this H is a self-complementary graph. This construction gives rise to a self-complementary graph. This is the construction. This is P4, and you replace this vertex by a copy of G, and this vertex by a copy of G complement, again by G complement and G. This is H, and in H complement, this G becomes G complement, and there are no edges joining this copy of G complement with this copy of G. So what we are getting in H complement is this G complement becomes G, this becomes G, and the last G becomes G complement. And the adjacency are now between these two. This and this. And we can see that these two are isomorphic. So that H so constructed is self-complementary. So constructed is self-complementary. And from a k-regular graph whose adjacency spectrum is known, a self-complementary graph H can be constructed, and the distance spectrum of that self-complementary graph is this. So by suitably choosing G, we can have for every n greater than or equal to 8, there exists a pair of 4 regular non-Gauss spectral. This is our auxiliary result. for every n greater than or equal to 8, we can have a pair of 4 regular non-constructed graph on n vertices. We construct that from two cycles by taking n equal to 2t and n equal to 2t plus 1 vertices. And we have this result. Let G be a connected 4 regular graph on n vertices with an adjacency matrix A and spectrum 4 lambda to etc. lambda n. And if H is taken as L squared G and script H be the P4 self-complementary graph obtained from this H, then the distance energy of H is this number. And using this, we can construct equi-energetic pair of self-complementary graphs on 48t or 24 into 2t plus 1 vertices. So this is the construction. If let B1 and B2 be the two non-constructed parallel graphs on 2t vertices, script B1 and B2 respectively they are iterated line graph, and script B1 and script B2 with the respective self-complementary graph, then by the last theorem, script B1 and script B2 are the equi-energetic. The same thing can be applied in the case of 2t plus 1 vertices also. So that we get 24 into 2t plus 1 vertex D equi-energetic graphs. So we have a equi-energetic graph from self-complementary family. So this is another graph operation. This was introduced by Ligong Wang. Ligong, this is a generalization of the graph operation introduced by Ligong Wang in his PhD thesis. And we extend this definition to any two graphs G1 and G2. And we can prove that the distance spectrum of this specialized product G1 join G2 congruent to G2 join G1. So this can be simply described. You take two copies of G1 join G2, and from these two copies of G1 join G2, you join the corresponding vertices of G2 with the corresponding vertices of join the corresponding vertices in two copies of G2. And this is an example for K3 join P4. You take two copies of K3 join P4. This black is one copy of K3 join P4, and the other black is the other copy of K3 join P4, and then join the corresponding vertices of P4. This graph is of diameter 3, and the distance spectrum of this graph is given by this expression. And we proved that there is a pair of distance equi-energetic graphs of diameter 3 on P vertices for every P is equal to 18 plus 2k with k greater than or equal to 1 from this graph operation. These are the two basic graphs, the two basic cubic graphs on 6 vertices. We find the iterated line graphs, G1 and G2 be the iterated line graphs. Then F1k be kk complement join this black join k1, and F2k. See, this black join k1 is that operation we just seen. Then each of these graphs F1k and F2k have this much number of vertices, and by this theorem we have the distance energy of these two graphs are the same. Again, we can have equi-energetic pair of graphs from the corona of two graphs. We have the distance spectrum of the corona of two graphs given by this expression. And we have, if G is a distance circular graph, then for a fixed n, a Pn be the set of all integral partitions of n into parts, and Cp be the union of cycles. Then the corona of G with this Cp forms a set of D equi-energetic graphs. And these are some examples. These are two D equi-energetic graphs on 18 vertices. By taking 6 as a partition and 3 plus 3 as a partition of 6. Two different partitions of 6 are taken. One is 6 and the other is 3 plus 3. And we took we formed the corona of C4 with this Cp. They are equi-energetic. And one of the recent operations we have as the subdivision vertex join of two vertex disjoint graphs G1 and G2, and the subdivision edge join of two graphs. We have the distance spectrum of these two graphs and we have a similar result. From this family also, we have a pair of distance equianergetic graphs by considering the number of the partitions of n into parts. We have the vertex subdivision vertex join of G with the CP and the subdivision vertex join of subdivision edge join of G with the CP gives rise to family of distance equianergetic graphs. Subdivision edge join of G with the CP and the subdivision vertex join of G with the CP gives rise to, and these are some examples. And I think now I have to wind up, and I conclude with a conjecture. And in 2009, we conjectured that there is no pair of non-cospectral d-equianergetic trees up to 20 vertices. And the conjecture is still open. There are no d-equianergetic graphs up to 20 vertices, and later we conjectured that there are no d-equianergetic trees. And surprisingly, there are several classes of graphs which we have produced here are equianergetic both with adjacency matrix and distance matrix. Several graphs are there which are equianergetic with respect to their adjacency matrix as well as equianergetic with respect to their distance matrices, but it is not a necessary and sufficient condition, because there are graphs with the equianergetic adjacency spectrum, equianergetic with respect to adjacency matrix, where they are not equianergetic with respect to distance matrix, and vice versa. But there are classes of graphs which are equianergetic both with respect to adjacency and distance matrices. So we propose this as an open problem. Characterize those graphs which are equianergetic with respect to both adjacency and distance matrices. And a weaker problem is construct families of graphs which are equianergetic with respect to both adjacency and distance matrices. And other problems are characterizing or constructing. Characterization is a strong problem and construction is a weak problem. Constructing or characterizing those graphs from other families of graphs, for example, planar graphs, Hamiltonian graphs, Eulerian graphs, graph having this much number of cut vertices, graph having maximum degree, this one, graphs having this much number of end vertices, graphs having this much bridges, like that. In those classes of graphs, can we construct graphs with equal distance energy? So, with this, I conclude, and these are the references. And there are many more references which are available in any repositories, in any RxI or in any journal related to spectral graph theory. And once again, I thank the organizers for giving me a chance to present my idea here. And any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Indulal, for the interesting talk. Audience, if you have any question, you can ask now.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, sir.
I thought you mentioned something about the Bojan-Mohar results, on digital spectrum and all that. Maybe you didn't have time.
No. I didn't mention, sir. See, there are, sir. Yeah, I confined my talk just on distance equianergetic graphs.
Okay.
Not mainly on the distance spectrum of graphs.
Okay. Nice.
So I know I have gaps because this area spectral graph theory itself is vast, and even this minute part, the distance spectrum of graph is also very vast. So that it may take some 5 or 6 lectures to give a clear picture on distance spectrum of graphs. I didn't mention many results which are not relevant to distance equianergetic graphs, but there are several results regarding the distance spectrum of graphs. As R. Balakrishnan sir mentioned, there are several results regarding the distance spectrum of graphs by Pollack, Kolavitz, Bojan-Mohar, and Susmita Barik, Prathama Panigrahi, and R. Balakrishnan sir itself, and several others, Suresh Erimalai, and so on. I just mentioned results regarding
Okay.
electrograph.
Anyway, it was nice talk that you gave. A good collection of results.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any other question? Okay, I have a question. So you are considering now distance matrices. So what about if you consider a
Yes.
distance Laplacian or distance signless Laplacian? Whether your construction will work for those matrices or?
Yes, we have results. We have our own results regarding the distance Laplacian, signless distance Laplacian, and so on.
Okay. Okay. If there is no more questions, let us thank Dr. Indulal for his interesting talk. I think he gave us a lot of open problems to work on. Yeah, thank you so much for your interesting talk, Professor. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
have recorded your talk. I will put it in YouTube tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Bye-bye. Yes.
So Indulal sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
it is not related to talk. That's why I am asking now. So while you are